what is going on, nieces and nephews. Uncle back. It's been a while since there's been an upload. We're back at the course. And this is a video that I knew I was going to have to make at some point in my cycling hobby. Never thought it would be necessarily this soon. I'm gonna park. I'm actually gonna leave it running because I'm having some battery start issues, which is part of the reason why I haven't posted. Plus my boy broke his wrist not long ago, so just kind of dealing with some personal stuff, life, and then the reason for the video, as I'm sure some of you have heard the news, but last Friday, May 15th, we lost a fellow biker, YouTuber, young kid. I call him a kid because he's quite a bit younger than I am, so he's just a kid. He's barely older than my oldest. And he died Friday, and that was 2DownDan. He was going through an intersection. He had the green light. A girl coming the other way had a green light also, but turned left in front of Dan, and Dan ran into the front passenger side of that vehicle, and he didn't make it. I didn't know Dan super well. I talked to him a few times through some videos, and if you remember a couple videos back, me talking about the other YouTuber claiming he's got the most modded 500 on YouTube, that's who I was talking about. And he had a gorgeous 40th anniversary 2024 Ninja 500, and we kind of had this friendly rivalry thing going, you know. I was trying to outmod him, you know. He was a big reason on why and how I mod the bike that I have, and I had always hoped that one day we'd be able to meet up and compare. Now, I'm not going to talk about anything besides losing Dan. I know a lot of people, there's some controversy about Dan's riding, and we're just not going to talk about that today. The fact of the matter was that a car turned left in front of him, and he didn't survive it. And he lost his life. He paid the ultimate price. Motorcycles, you know, they'll punish you for inattentiveness, for not being on top of everything around you, and a motorcycle will punish you very quickly. And unfortunately, Dan paid the ultimate price. You know, he was a very positive person, wanted to help people, gave a lot of good information on the 500, was very energetic, and had a whole life in front of him, you know. And it just kind of sucks that someone like that was just taken, you know. Kind of sucks. Kind of sucks. And so, let's get going. And so, I guess this is just another reminder that we need to always rely on ourselves to keep us safe, because we cannot rely on these other, just like this, we cannot rely on other drivers, especially in cars, to keep us safe. You know, I don't know who was at fault for the wreck, but you know, I don't know all the specific details, but it is a reminder that we need to remain vigilant out here on the streets, going through intersections. You know, and I'd like to remind people that just because you have a green light, all a green light does for you is tell you that it's your turn to go. Doesn't mean anything else. Doesn't mean it's safe to go. Doesn't mean go now. All a green light for you means is that it's your turn to go. And sometimes, even if it is your turn to go, it's not safe. And unfortunately for motorcycle riders, mistakes, even small mistakes, because, you know, I imagine if Dan was in a car, right, that accident would have probably been 100% survivable, right? On a motorcycle, not so much. And looking at the very few pictures that's available of that wreck, there's one or two out there floating around. It was no minor accident. If you really look at one of the pictures, you can see that the front wheel had been completely torn off. Looked like the tire had gotten stripped from the rim, and even maybe the rim had broken. Which makes sense, because if you go head first into the corner of a car. So I just urge everybody, one, wear your gear. Wear all of your gear. You know, Dan was known to just wear gloves and a helmet, and, you know, would an armored jacket, armored pants, would that have helped him? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But, you know, if I get being in Cali and it's hot and this and that, but you got to be safe. Even today, I'm not in my full leathers, but I am in riding pants, my boots, and my jacket, my helmet, and gloves. So I just urge all of you out there, just be careful. Like, this riding season is just now coming into full play. You know, it's starting to get nice. More people are going to be on the roads. People are going to buy bikes. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And especially all the newbies out there. You know, I'm not quite so new anymore. I don't necessarily consider myself a newbie anymore. But you got to be careful out there. I don't want to have to make these type of videos. You know, Dan was an inspiration to a lot of people. If you go look at some of the comments on the videos of people leaving their respects, you know, he inspired a lot of people, especially to get 500s, to get bikes, beginner bikes. Very informative, good kid. It's sad, and I don't want, you know, anybody else's families to have to go through this. You know, he was a brother. He was somebody's son. Well, I don't know if he was a brother, but he was somebody's son, right? So just be careful out there. Watch your surroundings. And leave the speed and the this and that and to the appropriate places. There's a time and there's a place for everything, and you know, it just sucks. Yeah, because this is, for me, this is kind of the first person I've, you know, quote unquote known, right, that's died in motorcycling. All the other deaths that I see of these YouTubers or this or that or people, you know, it's kind of abstract because it wasn't someone I knew, and I didn't really know Dan, but we interacted. He was even an inspiration for me. You know, I'd see his videos pop up, and even though sometimes his videos gave me a whole lot of anxiety just watching them, he was still very informative. He still cared about the community. He still cared about helping and providing information and growing the community the best that he could. And I think that's what everyone should remember about him. Yeah, he's going to be missed. He's definitely going to be missed. You know, it's still kind of crazy to think about because his videos still pop up on my timeline. And it's just kind of crazy to think, you know. And it's just a reminder of how quickly things can go wrong. And unfortunately, when things go wrong on a motorcycle, they tend to go really wrong. So yeah, that's about it. I just got this stuff together enough so that I can get out real quick, clear my head, make a quick video, get it out to you guys, show my respects to Dan, and you know, that's kind of where we're at. Geez, I used to live there. Not the first time that fence has been demolished by a car. So yeah, just everybody be safe. Noise. Be safe. And watch your surroundings. Don't rely on other people to keep you safe. That's your job. And no one else is going to do it for you. So make sure that you're the one doing it. That's all I got, guys. Sorry this is kind of such a downer video. Not a whole lot of riding clips, not a whole lot of anything except kind of shock and sadness, and you know. So as always, thanks guys. Be safe out there. You know, Uncle doesn't want to have to make these videos too often. You know, you're my nieces and my nephews. Y'all are family. So keep it safe out there. Keep it what did Dan say? Keep those two down. Keep those 2 fingers down. 2 wheels down. And I'll see you in the next one.